Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome back to another Figma review. And this time it's Figma number 194, Kurapika, from the manga and anime Hunter x Hunter. Flipping round to the back of the box we get an indication of what to expect from this figure. And as usual on the inner packaging there's a removable section for using with a DI stage. A quick overlook and we can see that this Figma is quite light on the accessories. We only have one extra face and 3 hands with 3 of his chains. Out of the box we can get a better look at the figure itself, and as always with the Figma line it looks amazing. Looking like it walked straight out of the anime, but with a little bit of that Figma style in the sculpt and detail of the face. The colours are perfect and the tabard looks great without looking too bulky or blocky like how tabards sometimes look like on other figures. The facial detailing and hair sculpt is great as always, but it's a shame about that fairly large seam line on the hair. Onto the accessories, all of which are chains like this one here. The Judgment chain with a cross-shaped blade at the far end and extends from the pinky finger. Next is the Chain Jail, this time with a hook on the end and extending from the middle finger. And lastly the Dowsing chain hanging down from his ring finger, with a metal ball on the end. Next onto the hands, and the first is a standard pair of fists, and you can see the rings on the right hand there, and these are present on all of the right hands. Next is a pair of holding hands, a pair of hands with extended fingers, and the last pair of hands which have their fingers slightly bent. Now onto the faces, and first we have the default face which came attached to the figure, but besides this one, the figure only comes with one more extra face, which is this one here with the glowing red eyes. So not a whole lot in regard to accessories, but anyway, let's see some poses using them. Now articulation starting from the head down. Movement at the neck up and down, looking left and right and tilting side to side. Onto the arm and all the way up, all the way down, and rotating all the way around. The bend at the elbow here is pretty good. Movement at the wrist all the way down, all the way up. Articulation at the waist, back and forward, and side to side. The tabard is made from a soft rubber-like material, so that moves around quite well. And the back sections are a harder plastic and they move on a joint and have great articulation. Leg movement all the way out to the side, so no doing the splits here. About up to around waist height at the front, and not so high up at the back. A pretty good range of motion at the knee here. Articulation at the ankle all the way to the back and to the front. And there's a joint here at the toes. As usual, the quality of this Figma is awesome for the most part. The paint and detailing is perfect. But as for negative points, there is a pretty big seam line on the hair. Also on the inside of the arm here, there is a small but noticeable nub mark. And there's also some mold lines on the insides of the legs. So that's it for the Figma Kurapika. Another great figure by Max Factory, but there are a couple of negative aspects about this figure. It has very few accessories and a few noticeable imperfections, but these may just be limited to this particular figure. But these really don't take away from what is a great figure otherwise, and will look great next to your Figma Gon and Kahlua. So thanks for watching, and come back again for another Figma review.